it's supposed to rain tomorrow. You think you have everything set up and ready, and then you realize you missed like one of the most important parts. Okay, it is 7:47. I made it here a few minutes before contract hours. At the beginning of the school year, I was coming really early, like 30 minutes before contract hours, to just get everything set up in my classroom, get things printed and prepped. But now I'm in a groove, I know what I'm doing. So I've been getting here right at contract hours, which has been really nice. Today I'm getting here a little bit earlier because I knew I wanted to film a day in my life, and our principal puts on Kids Bop on a loudspeaker every single morning, which I love. I love that energy for the morning, but I knew I wanted to film a day in my life, and my window is facing directly out to the playground. And if you know anything about YouTube, you cannot have any music in your video that you do not have the rights to, or music that you haven't paid a subscription plan to a hosting site. I use Epidemic Music, which I've been obsessed with, and they have a huge catalog. I'll link that in the description if you're trying to make a YouTube video. Epidemic, I forget how much it is a month. It's not that expensive, and like I said, it's a huge catalog. Tomorrow is our field trip. I'm not gonna say where we're going just for privacy issues, but it is outside. There is a little bit of a hike. It is in nature, which unfortunately the weather forecast says that it's supposed to rain tomorrow. Hopefully in the evening, hopefully it won't mess up our plans. Even though the field trip is predominantly outside, there is a hike, so if it rains, that'll get canceled, but there are 2 labs that are inside that hopefully the students can still attend. Fingers crossed, because I've been planning this for a while. Yesterday I left at contract time because I had a bunch of work to do for my other job that I have, and my desk is a mess. And yes, I have everything planned for today. I just want to make sure that all my worksheets are organized, and that I know where everything is, and that I get my morning slides up and ready before the bell rings, with enough time to put my lunch in the fridge, get some coffee, and make some last minute copies if I have to. All right, let's go. Huh. Wow, what a day. Okay, it is the end of the day. I just dismissed my students. I didn't record anything today. I recorded when I got here, and then nothing throughout the day, because I'm always up on my feet. I'm always working with the students, and I just don't have time to record anything. So I'm just gonna show you what we did today. And this is how I look at the end of the day. It starts off somewhat okay, and then it ends up as this. But it was also really windy today, so that's my excuse. Even though I just have like messy hair every day. Whatever. Okay, let's fix this. Fix this before I film anything else. If you've watched my videos before, you might know that I have 3 classes per day, block 1, block 2, and I have block 3. Depending on what students are able to get through each block, that's what we're working on for the day. So today, block 1 and block 3, we're doing the same thing. And then block 2 is doing something different. They'll all be eventually doing the same thing, but they just go at different paces. So first I'm gonna show you what block 1 and block 3 did today. All my blocks are currently learning about ecosystems. We have a science curriculum called Amplify. I actually really like it. There are pre-made slideshows, and they can be pushed out to the student's computer, and you have control of what slide the students are on. So today we observed different ecosystems. We observed a pond ecosystem, a desert ecosystem, and a rainforest ecosystem, and then students had to type in what they observed from those ecosystems. They also made their own terrariums a couple days ago, so they observed what's been happening in their terrariums as well. Amplify actually provides us with all the materials for terrarium, like the box, the soil, the grass seeds, the alfalfa seeds. So students got into groups, and they each had jobs. There was a leaf monitor, a water monitor, alfalfa seed monitor, grass seed monitor, soil monitor. So they all had jobs. They did really well working in groups together. That was only a couple days ago, and a lot of these students' seeds have already started sprouting. So it was really cool to be able to have something to observe today, and then also observe those Amplify ecosystems as well. The groups also got to come up with their own names. I would say 80% of them involve skibbity, I don't know, whatever. I don't understand it. Block 1 and 3 also moved on to the next lesson in Amplify, which teaches them about atoms, molecules, and matter. I came up with a game for the students. They're pretty competitive and they get really into it. It wasn't part of the Amplify curriculum, but I could tell that the kids were kind of getting a little bored with the curriculum, so I wanted to make it more fun. So I gave each group chart paper. I titled it Matter, and they had to write down as many things as they could think of that's considered matter, which is like everything. And then when the time was up, they counted how many they got. Whoever won got to go to my prize box. My third block, we got really into it and we actually went right up until the bell rung, so we didn't have time to count to see who won, but I think it's gonna be a close call. We'll figure it out when we come back. Now, my second block of the day, today we worked specifically on tide pool ecosystems. We are going on a field trip tomorrow where we might be able to see some tide pools, so I wanted to give them a little bit of information about that before we went on our trip. Hopefully we don't get rained out. For this activity, I didn't use Amplify. I just found an old school book titled Exploring Tide Pools, and we read a brief article about what tides are, what causes tides. Then they colored their own tide pools, and we had a competition to see who the class voted on as the best coloring page. The students got really into these coloring pages. They really put in a lot of time. They put in a lot of effort. They even got up and made speeches as to why they thought their coloring page should win. And then the students voted and the winners got to go to my prize box. Part of me felt like in my second block, oh, we didn't do much today. But then I had to take a step back and just realize that it's not always about cramming information down students' throats. It's okay to just learn about one topic and then do a fun activity about that one topic, especially if we're going on the field trip tomorrow and I wanted them to have a little background knowledge about the area they're going to. And sometimes you just have to have fun. That is more or less what we did today in class. I felt like I had a really good day. This group of students is so smart. They are so engaged and they're just like easy to teach. Now, my desk is atrocious. I don't even know if I want to show it because it's so bad. I don't know how it got to this point because it wasn't at this point yesterday. I just keep throwing things on it. Okay, here it is. A whole bunch of other papers. All right, it's time to stop talking and start cleaning my desk. The desk is somewhat organized. It's not fully cleared off, but things are in organized piles, which is good enough for right now. I think tomorrow I'm going to stay late and really organize things and put things away and file things. Tomorrow is the last day before Thanksgiving break. Right before break, I tend to stay in my classroom pretty late and really just keep clean and get everything thrown out that needs to be thrown out, and like to just start fresh and nice and neat when school comes back into session in December. But right now the vibe is organized piles. Now that my desk is in somewhat kind of organized piles, I feel like I can now check my emails, lesson plan for tomorrow. Even though we're going on a field trip, we will be coming back in the afternoon, and I do need activities for the students to do when we get back to school, and just get done any other miscellaneous type tasks. Like I said, we are going on a field trip tomorrow. We're going to an estuary, which is basically just an area where the river meets the sea, saltwater and freshwater mix. I've been teaching for 8 years, and every time I go on a field trip, the morning of is always hectic. Even if you have everything planned out. Once the students come into the classroom, they know they're not gonna be in the classroom all day. They're really excited to go on the field trip. They come in, normal routines out the window, they sit down, or they just start like walking around the classroom, talking to each other, and then that stresses me out because I'm supposed to be taking roll and I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the logistics of the day. So this field trip, I made sure to print out some work for the students to do, something pretty simple. It's just an estuary word search. I just Googled it. So something simple like a word search should be perfect. I've also made sure to update my morning slides so that when the students come in, they know exactly what to do and what's expected of them. Now that I have the students' morning work prepared and it's out on their desks, I'm going to make sure that I have all my permission slips. I probably should have done that a few days ago. All my chaperones are finalized. I have my student emergency list, and I keep it all inside this banana binder. This banana binder goes on every field trip with me, and it's just a place where I keep emergency information, permission slips. It's my go-to for any information that I might need on students or parents for our field trip. I thought that I was gonna get out of here at a decent time. It's almost 4:30. I just realized I didn't make the groups for tomorrow. One of my students keeps asking me if I've made the groups, and I keep telling her, no, I haven't yet. Okay, we're gonna be staying here a little bit later to make the groups. Shoot, dang. You think you have everything set up and ready, and then you realize you missed like one of the most important parts of planning a field trip. My brain is just kind of exploding with planning this field trip because we're going 2 separate dates. That means 2 different sack lunch requests. That means 2 different transportation requests. Figuring out all the chaperones and figuring out what groups the kids are gonna be in. Okay, I need to stop talking and make these lists. Okay, I finally finished the groups. It is literally dark outside. I'm getting out of here and crossing my fingers for no rain tomorrow, even though there's supposed to be a huge storm coming in. But we're going on this field trip no matter what, rain or shine.